Hey guys, welcome back. I am Stu and this is Swamp Cove for Roller Coaster Tycoon Classic. Built partly on a series of small islands, this park already has a pair of large roller coasters as its centrepiece. Your objective? To have at least 1600 guests in your park at the end of October, year 3 with a park rating of at least 600. So it's quite a tidy sized park then. Already I'm not liking the look of the paths. So let's have a look at the park then. I'm not interested in the coasters yet. We can look at them later. So we've got free entry, so we're going to be charging for the rides. What have we got then? We've got a train and monorail cycles. We've got not a bad selection of gentle rides to start with. We've got these that can be put down quite quickly if we need them. Good selection of coasters to begin with. We've already got a pair of large coasters, so you know every park needs a standout ride, and this one's already got two by the looks of it, so these smaller ones will come in handy there. Let's see then, we've got a couple of thrill rides. Okay, not much in the range of shops, and we haven't really got any food or drink. I mean, these kind of count, but they're not really as substantial as a drink stall or chip stall or hot dog stall or whatever. So I think then, looking at what we've got, I'm going to put all my research into shops, and then as soon as we get a decent drink stall and a decent food stall, we can then switch over to thrill rides, unlock a few of them, and then probably switch up to roller coasters. So let's have a look at these coasters then. So we've got a pair of inverted coasters, Dexter and Sinister. So that those names then, they come from, I believe it's the Latin for left and right. Dexter, that would be where you get the word dexterity from, and then Sinister then, so called because they used to think that left-handed people were evil. And I even remember my mother telling me that when she was in school, children who used their left hands to write were beaten. And seriously, that's not all that long ago either. Amazing. Okay, so let's let me drop down a handyman so I can see the grid of the park. Okay, that's quite handy then. So this path that runs next to the roller coasters, that's on a separate zoning grid system than the actual rides as well, so that's going to go a long way to convincing me to keep these. Let's have another look at them then. Okay, so we can put the price up to 5. We can easily charge out. We could probably charge more, but 5 I think is a good price. We haven't got any on-ride photos on here, so I can tell that just by looking at this screen here. Otherwise, because if they did, they would have an option in there for it, so we can add them. Okay, what have we, let's close that down. It's running on pause a second. Let's put it on the block. Oh no, we can only do the one train on block section. Okay, so what we need to do then with these rides is we're going to close them down. We're going to add a block section somewhere, maybe where this is by here, or maybe where that bit is by there, so, you know, maybe straighten off, I don't know. Add on-ride photos somewhere as well, just anywhere, like but there's a straight piece on the yellow, anywhere we can, and then we can reopen them up to £5 each. I don't like the paths, so I'll probably rejig the paths so that they both come out onto this path here. So I might have to go underground for the red one. Then I'll no entry sign somewhere, I don't know, maybe down by here, and then probably up by here as well, just to stop all the guests going around there. So I'll do that. I'll do that first actually. I'll no entry sign there, because then by the time I've done the changes I want to do to the rides and the paths, the rest of the path that's been no entry sign should clear, in which case I can then start I can delete some of it, start putting down flat rides where I've got the space, and then yeah, we just have to play it by ear. There isn't really a although there's a fairly nice section here. I could do a loop round there, but there's nothing really standing out so far. So I'm going to crack on with the building then, and I'll see you later on in the year for a review. It is April year 1, so I've rejigged the paths. So there we go. We've got the exit for the red coming down here, and up here next to the exit for the yellow, and then we've got the path for the red, then the entrance path coming down and up next to the path for the yellow. So I've got rid of most of the trees just to allow more pathing for the rides. Let's have a look then. What have we got? We've got, so that's dropped the excitement down a little, but we can now run 2 trains, so that'll help bring in the money in. We've unlocked a couple more shops, but it's not really any shops that we want at this stage. So we've got balloons, we've got gift store, no sign of any food or drink so far. So I'm going to carry on with the building, and I haven't got rid of the rest of the paths yet, but I will. I've done these ones around here, so that'll be my next job then, and then hopefully something will unlock in the meantime. We're into August year 1, so I've built a couple of corkscrew coasters here. So these are going to be my profit coasters. The yellow and red coaster were in the way, so I've rejigged these slightly. I've taken away the twist section, and there was another element there as well. So that's dropped the excitement down a little bit more, but it's still high. It's still a good 7 for each of these, so I'm happy with that. And these are going to bring in a ton of money once I get them synchronized and both opened up. Let's have a look at the shops then. And there you go. We've just got some food stalls, no sign of a drink stall, so I've been putting down stalls as and when I unlock them. So we're still going to have to research shops just until we get a drink stall. I think looking at it now, it's a good job that we did go researching shops, because I've got loads of sick ever. I'm going to have to put some handymen down properly, but it's a good job that we did research them when we did, because if we didn't, we'd be months behind already. By the time guests start complaining about being thirsty, we'd be several months behind. So it's a good job we did that. So I'd recommend doing that first. So I'm going to carry on building then. Hopefully we'll get a drink stall fairly soon. It is October year 1. We've got loads of food stalls. Still no drink stalls. So I don't know if they are randomly researched or whether they're in a set order, but it looks like they've deliberately put it so that drink stalls don't get researched early. So I've got a few seating areas I've put down. I've got some flat rides just up here. I've got both my corkscrews open, so there's it's good excitement on these. They're bringing in a lot of money, so we're up to 5,000 a month now. These coasters over here, they're doing really well money wise. A couple of little seating areas down here, so I'm going to add flat rides as and when I've got the space, and then add shops as well where I've got the space. So I'm thinking then at some point I need to try and work down here with the paving, and down here, down this side with the paving, and then maybe get them to meet up somewhere around here, and then we'll have loads of space then on the inside and the outside for rides. So I'm going to crack on with year 2 then. Hopefully candy. Right, so it's not telling us. So the last one we had was a candy floss stall. It's not telling us what the next one is. Hopefully then we're going to get a drink stall in year 2, because as is, we really haven't got a lot of flat rides to work with. And I mean, there's a nice spot down here for some coasters, but I really do want some flat rides to start helping me soak up some of the guests and help bring a few more to the park. I've noticed just up here where you've got the guest count, there's a little arrow that appears, a little green arrow when your guest numbers are going up quite nicely. So what I've been doing is when the green arrow's been showing, I've been carrying on with the building of the paths and things like that. When the green arrow disappears, then I'll try and put down another flat ride or something. Hopefully then I'll give it a little bit of a boost. But we're almost at 1,000 guests, so we only need another 600 or so. So I can't see any problems. I think the main issue we're going to have, apart from the researching, well, there you go, they're thirsty, so they're complaining about that. There's nothing I can do about that really. So the main issue we can have really is complacency, because we're almost at 1,000 guests. We only need 600 in another 2 years, so we just need to make sure that we carry on building, and we'll do it no problem. It is October year 2. As you can see from the messages on the screen, we finally researched a drink stall in March year 2. So after that then we were able to research thrill rides. We've got quite a few of those unlocked. I think we've probably got enough now, so I can switch my research into roller coasters. Speaking of which, we've built a couple of juniors down here, and then we've got a nice go-karts there, pirate ships just in the middle, and we've got a big pair of mine rides. They're not synchronized perfectly, but it's a good excitement. That one hasn't come back yet. That's ruined that then. Swinging inverted ships just up here. I've connected the path up as well. So that's pretty much what I've been doing year 2, and then that enables us then to have a good finish for year 3, because all we need to do in year 3 then, we've done all the paths, all we need to do is just concentrate on putting down the rides. So I think what I'll do is I'll switch up to roller coasters, and then we've already got wooden ones, so I can do a nice big wooden coaster along the back here. And then I think whilst we're waiting for something better to unlock, I'll just start spamming shops all around the place. Now we've got absolutely tons of them, because it took so long to unlock drink stalls that we've unlocked pretty much everything but. So let's see if these have come back. There you go, almost 7 for that one, and high 6 for that one. So those are good. They're gonna take a lot of the guests off the paths as well. We shouldn't have any issues with overcrowding. We only need around 150 guests to do the objective. So I'm going to crack on with year 3 then, and I'll see you in around a year's time for a park tour and hopefully the completion of the scenario. It is October year 3. The scenario wants 1,600 guests. We've got just under 2,000. Park rating is up on maximum, so we're going to beat this no problem. Okay then, so when we came in, there were paths going all around the islands quite randomly, and then there was these 2 coasters just here, Dexter and Sinister, left and right. I haven't done much to them. I kept them at the beginning because they were nicely located at the start. I don't always get rid of rides. I do sometimes if they're in the way, or if I just don't like the look of them, or if they're just too far away from the start of the park, or perhaps if I just want a nice boost of cash to carry on building other things, if I think I can use the money better. So all I've done with these then is I've added on-ride photo section. So there's one there for the yellow. Where have I put the one for the red? Just there at the end, just anywhere I could. There's block sections as well, so there's one on the yellow just there, and the red, I think that's about just in the same place as well. So first of all, we didn't have any real food or drink stalls, so I put my research into shops. I built my preferred 4x4 system here, so I've got 4 wide just down there, and then we've got some seating areas. So we put down the flat rides that we did have. I rejigged the paths for the 2 coasters so that the entrances and exits were all coming out onto this main path here where I've got all the shops. I've just been adding them as and when they unlock. We built up here, and I built these 2 corkscrew coasters. So these are my profit coasters. So continuing the theme of opposites, then we've got black and white. So good excitement for these. One of them's getting an extra boost because of the free fall and the water and everything like that. So I had to rejig these the yellow and black rides. No, they're yellow and red rides, because they had a twist and another element. I can't remember what it was. Was there a bat wing or something like that? So I had to get rid of those just to make the space, but that hasn't really diminished the excitement much. I mean, they're still high excitements. Guests are still loving it. What's the throughput like? Oh, not bad. It's also shortened the ride a bit as well, so that's led to a bit more money for us. So what we did then is we built a couple of junior coasters down here. So we've got, continuing the theme then, we've got inside and outside. Good excitement on these. Nothing fancy with them. They just go down and up and round. And then we've got go-karts. So good excitement on these. Guests are loving that. A couple of pirate ships. And then we built a couple of inverted swinging ships down here. And then I built these two mine rides here. So we've got fire and ice. So it's good excitement on these. Continued building the parvin, so we've got the full loop all around there. And then we've got this Virginia reel up here. So that's sweet and sour. This is a Mobius track, so it's one complete track, 2 stations. So it's good excitement on this. Guests are loving that. So I'm quite happy with the way that turned out. And then we've got this wooden coaster here. So split personalities. Good excitement on there. Again, it's a Mobius coaster, so it's one complete track. Just goes up and around, back around. Small helix instead of larger helix, back down, and then opposite tracks then with the helixes, down, back around, a little splash to finish as a form of a break. And then I've got a break somewhere around here just to slow the track that the green one is on now, just to slow it down slightly so that they both finish around about the same time, just to help synchronize them. And then the last coaster I built then is this twister here. Nope. Oh, forgot about this. We've got yellow carts just at the back there. So good excitement for that. I kind of like the way this little track bit goes, because up and around and back down, and so I like that. And then we've got this final twister here. So this one's called the Lawn Twister. So all my other coasters have been built in pairs, kind of like opposites to each other. So thinking about it, maybe this one does kind of fit in the fact that it's opposite to everything else by being on its own, and we've completed it, so it kind of fits in. But you've really got to want to see it. Stew, and we've completed it. I quite enjoyed that scenario. I think the only downside to this scenario was the research in the shops. It took so long. Oh, there you go, vertical drop roller coaster. We could have done with one of them earlier. It took so long to research the shops, to research a drink store, that it meant that we were limited then as to what we could research. And we really did need the drink store because there were so many guests complaining about being thirsty. So it is a good job that we did start researching them right at the beginning of the scenario. Let's just check the excitement on this. There you go, almost 7. Nothing fancy with it. Doesn't go too fast. So what is it now? Only going 30 now. So yeah, it's a good job we did put the research into it when we did. Otherwise, who knows, maybe in year 2, when we'd suddenly realise, hang on a second, we need drink stalls, maybe we'd have had loads of guests leaving because they were thirsty. Yeah, so this one, just on continuous circuit mode. Haven't got it to block brakes. It's going quite slow. There's a brake run at the back. It's going quite slow. I've got it set to full load, and because the trains so long and there's so many rides. There's like 4 rows, 4 seats per row. It takes so long, even when the queue line is full, it takes so long for the train to fill up that I don't think there's any problems with the safety of it. I don't think you really need it to be block sectioned for this sort of design. So yeah, that was Swamp Cove then. It was quite an easy one, but even though it was easy, it was still quite enjoyable. It is, again, it's just a shame about the drink stall, but we did it anyway. We smashed it, so I'm quite happy with the way it's turned out. Hopefully you've enjoyed the video. If you have, please drop a like and subscribe. Any feedback or questions, drop me in the comment section, and I'll see you on the next one. Bye.